Good afternoon, everyone. At least it's afternoon here in Los Altos. It's actually a very sunny, hot day. You may have heard we're having extreme heat waves down here. It's in the mid 90s or upper 90s actually today in the Bay Area, which is very unusual. So a good day to be inside with a little AC. So I'm going to keep myself up here with just a little thumbnail in the corner because I want to share my screen with you today. Really, the purpose of today's podcast is to just walk through the WordPress and Moodle site and overview and highlight some things. This space should be pretty familiar to you now after going through 521 with Elizabeth, but I'll just take some time to highlight a few things. So we're here on the home page, of course. That looks probably very familiar. Hopefully by now you've listened to my introduction, which is right here, if you haven't had a chance to do that. I have filled in under Stay Connected. I have filled in information for my information that you'll need. And of course, we have still the same hashtag for Twitter communication. And then I just want to highlight that I will be having weekly drop-in office hours on Thursdays from 6 to 7 p.m. PST. I know that'll be a little late for the people on the East Coast, but even if you could come for, 15 minutes, I'm hoping that you will take advantage of these when you can. I like to discuss some of the assignments, go into more detail about those. Sometimes I bring in information. Good time to ask questions and just for us to see each other a little more face to face. Okay, you see that your blogs are all here, and I'm also have updates on your blogs and on anything that goes into my blog and your blog in my Feedly. So so that's really the first two things. When I make blog posts, you'll see those in here under instructor posts, just like you did with Elizabeth. But I will be using the news and announcements, instructor news and announcements in Moodle as I have with this recording, to do introductions for each of the units. So one of the most important things that you probably remember is the schedule, which we have here the same. So that's something you're going to want to check frequently so that you can stay on top of when things are due. I tend not to be a big reminder about that. And then, of course, the overview of all of the activities is right here under each of the units. And since I will be doing another podcast on Unit 1, I'm not going to go into that kind of detail right now. If you click here, it takes you over to Moodle and you have the readings. And I really encourage you to go look at the readings. The reading is pretty substantial for this course. And a little bit different than we did last summer. It starts out not quite so heavy. In Unit 2, it becomes a little bit more heavy reading. And Unit 3 is quite heavy reading because Unit 3 is where you're reading both theoretical articles with theoretical frameworks and research and critiquing it. So I think you really want to plan out the readings for your own schedule this summer so that you can stay on top of those and not let Unit 3 kind of sneak up on you. Of course, here's the assessment part, and this is where each assignment that is going to receive a grade as well as the contribution to the learning community grade is spelled out, and I will go over those when we're in each of those units. Let's see, the toolkit. So let's just take a look at that for a minute. Let's see. The toolkit, I didn't mean to click on that, but we'll go back in a minute. Of course, there's Moodle, and we're going to go over there in a minute. There's the Collaborate room, and this is, you have, I think, 3 rooms there that you're able to use to meet as teams, and we do have a team assignment in this course. course, you have the library and these other things. I also use, again, Collaborate for my office hours, and you'll see over on Moodle, the general class Collaborate room is where I hold the virtual office hours that I have on Thursday evenings. The Writing Center is something I really encourage you. In fact, we have a couple assignments that direct you to have to use the Writing Center so you get a little bit familiar with it. But this is a really good place to go and get some support for your writing. I encourage you, if you have gotten a couple of papers back, maybe in the first course, and you received anything lower than a B, um, you really need to spend some time at the Writing Center. And the nice thing is that you can get them to work with you on proofing your assignments and seeing what you're writing and making suggestions, as well as I'm here to support you in that as well. And so you can seek me out for that kind of coaching as well. Okay, I want to move over here to Collaborate real quick. Okay, and so just looking here at the general area, you have the standard stuff here, the course outline. I have a page that I've uploaded here that kind of goes over my expectations about your presence in this course, checking in on it, your participation, um, which goes into your grade for contribution to the learning community, how to contact me and how I will be trying to contact you. So please do read that, and don't hesitate to get with me if you have any questions. This instructor news and update is where I'll be putting in, I have put in this podcast and all the podcasts where I introduce each unit as we move along. Again, this is your reading and resources, and you'll want to take a look at this right in the beginning so you get a good sense of what you're going to need to be reading. This is the grading rubric, and I know you're familiar with it now. I'm sure Elizabeth introduced it, but we all use this, and it's a little bit different than maybe some of the experiences you've had with courses before. The bar, if you're getting a B plus marking on a piece of work, that's quite good. Take a look at that, and if you have any questions about how I use that, I'm glad to ask that too. I've created a forum here for Ask the Instructor. I believe you have this with Elizabeth too, and this is where I would encourage you, if you have questions, to go ahead and put them in there so that when I answer them, everyone in the course can benefit from that. If you need to have a private conversation with me about about anything in the course, then of course you can contact me through email or set up an appointment on Skype, that kind of thing. This is an all course participants discussion forum, and this is just a place where any of us can put an article that we want to share, or a podcast or a video we want to share that is relevant to our topic. And research is a huge topic, so there's lots of different things there, and I encourage you to use that. In this resources, I'm just going to click on this. You will find in the reading list, you'll see this is in your unit 1, but you will see that there's a link to it, and it's a whole chapter of a book that you'll be reading for unit 1, and this is a hard copy of it, a PDF. So that's why this is in here, so you can download that and read it at your own pace. And then there's a document in here, a PowerPoint, that lists which project team you'll be on. So you want to take a look at that as well. Let's get back here now. All right, so you can come in here and use the email to email folks if you want, including me. Here's our Collaborate rooms. The assignments are listed here, but these are really, as they were you'll be looking at the assignments through the WordPress site. This is just backup and drop boxes for assignments. Okay, so that is pretty much it in terms of an overview. I'm going to go get back here to the WordPress site. You know, you can go back and forth like that. I know that was a quick overview, but I think you're starting to get familiar with this format. And in my next podcast, I will be diving into introducing Unit 1, our first unit, and with detail. And I'll do the same format where I share the screen and go over it with you. All right? Okay, in the meantime, I look forward to encouraging those of you who can to attend my first office hours drop-in time on Thursday evening. Again, 6 to 7 PST. And I'd love to meet you face to face, so to speak, and encourage you to come to that. Okay, so take care in the meantime.